Moog booth is packed today because they are showing a brand new synthesizer, the Messenger. We just had the chance to try it out and it was a really cool experience. It's from the form factor a little bit like the Sub 25, my trusted Sub 25, which I really love. So I was happy to see actually that Moog was releasing another mono analog synthesizer, but it has some more cool features. So for example, it has a switch on the filter resonance where you can enhance the bass. It has a built-in sequencer, a built-in arpeggiator, which is something I really appreciate, and way more preset slots. So on the Sub 25 you had, I think it was a total of 16 preset slots, and now I think you have 16 multiplied by 16, which is definitely more than enough. So yeah, a lot of opportunities to store presets and something I'm really excited about. Sound-wise, I think it sounds great, and yeah, I think for now we want to check it out a little bit more and speak to someone from Moog and hear what they have to say about their new baby. We are here now with Chris, product specialist for Moog, who has been involved in the development process of the Moog Messenger. Chris, can you tell me a little bit about the thought process behind developing the synth?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to develop a Moog synthesizer that was a little more approachable in a handful of different ways. So from price, it's more approachable than we've ever done, and also from a touring and gigging perspective, something that would be really good for touring musicians to have. A 32-key synthesizer, full-size keys, but something that's a little more portable than some of the other instruments we've done in this as analog mono synths such as Sub 25 or subsequent 37. Something that's just a little easier for musicians to carry around and bring with them.
Yeah, you just mentioned the Sub 25, which has been discontinued. Yes. I'm a big fan of it, so I was at first a little bit sad, but now seeing the Messenger coming up, is it kind of like a little bit of a successor to the Sub 25?
No, not really. I mean, the Sub 25 was more of a successor to the Little Fatty. That was kind of where a lot of its lineage came from, and the Sub 37 is kind of its own thing. This is a totally new design from us. The oscillators are a different design. They include the wavefolders that we featured on Labyrinth last year. It also includes linear through 0 FM, which is really cool to get a very new timbral range from us. And then it has the transistor ladder filter, but with a few twists on it. We took the outputs of the ladder and mixed them together in interesting ways so we can keep the ladder filter intact. It's the same ladder filter you know and love, but it has a few new tricks. It has multiple modes. It also has resonance compensation, so you can crank the resonance on it and bring the bass back in. So it's a really nice and flexible filter from us. And then some of the other things you would expect: 2 envelopes. They're looping, which is a nice feature from the Sub series. 2 LFOs. We really wanted to make something that was like hands-on. What you see is what you get. Something that anyone can go up to and play and start to crank out bass lines and leads and all that kind of thing. But something that also has a little bit of programming to it. You can program really deep sounds on it if you wish, or you can just approach the panel and get really nice sounds immediately. So that was kind of the idea behind it. Make a really nice self-contained instrument.
Speaking about the Sub series, duophonic mode was something I really appreciated on the Sub series. Does it have that too?
This does not. No, there's no duo mode on this. Yeah, that's unique to the Sub 37. Yeah.
Okay, and last question: if you would now have to position the Messenger somewhere in the Moog portfolio, you already mentioned it has a couple of pieces from other synths, like from the Labyrinth, but probably also from synths like the Grandmother or from the Sub you already mentioned. Yeah. Where would you kind of like position it?
Well, I mean, it's an entry-level synth for us. It's a nice price compared to what we generally have.
What is the price point?
The price is €849, $899. So it's there, but it's still a pro level piece of kit. And really, what we wanted to do is pack it full of unique, special features. We don't want it to make we want to make something that's a unique and new instrument on its own. Sequencer and arpeggiator will be reminiscent a bit of what's on Grandmother and Matriarch in the way that you interact with it. But we took a lot of the unique features we developed for the sequencer and arpeggiator in the Moog Muse and folded those in. So probabilistic note changes, things like that. You can punch in a sequence really immediately. Again, performance and live touring was really the goal here. So very, very easy to punch in a sequence and get going, but also you can program it and kind of dive in and explore a little more. Synth really to grow with. We want a synth that's great for beginners to go up and get that Moog sound, but also something that rewards as a timeless instrument for people to learn and really develop a relationship with over the years, over the decades. That's really important for us.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris.
Yeah, thank you.
So we just had a little bit of a longer time to check out the Moog Messenger and also had the opportunity to talk to Moog about it. And it's a really interesting device because it does a lot of things that you would expect from a dual monosynth with two oscillators, but it also does some things that are new. So for example, it has the sequencer that goes more in the Moog Muse direction. Then it has some elements from the Labyrinth, but also from the Grandmother or even from the sub-series. One thing that was for me a little bit of a bummer, because I always thought after the Sub 25 was discontinued, now Moog puts out another new portable playable monosynth, and I was hoping that it would have a duophonic mode, because I think it's one of my favorite features of the Sub 25. And it doesn't have that. But yeah, apart from that, I think it's really cool. I love the integrated arpeggiator, that it has a sequencer. I think that's also really cool to play around when you're live performing. The two LFOs are great. A lot of stuff is modulatable. So I think you can have a lot of fun with this. You can go deep. You have a lot of presets that you can save. But I'm still not really sure if, for me, it could replace the Sub 25, to be honest. But yeah, that was a really cool first experience, and yeah, can't wait to see what's more up here on Superbooth. By the way, big thanks to Sennheiser for sponsoring the Superbooth trip with this microphone. This is the Profile Wireless. It's a wireless microphone system that gets away a lot of headache for me and also for Florian, who's kindly doing the camera work, because we now don't have to think about cables or microphone cables and all of that stuff. It's just plug and play. You can use it with cameras, but also with iPhone, with Android smartphones. It's pretty great. Big thanks for that, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.